Hello, my name is Allison Fordham, and my project members are Brittany Drake, Yulim Kim, and Logan Waite. We will be detailing the disease rabies. Rabies is a deadly but preventable viral disease that attacks the brain and central nervous system of mammals. Although dog bites have long been associated as a primary means of contracting rabies, and this still is a concern in developing countries, concerted vaccination efforts in the United States have diminished this type of transmission. In the US, the majority of rabies cases now come from undomesticated animals, and on average, there are only 2 human deaths in this country per year attributed to rabies. Rabies disease comes from the rabies virus. It is from the family Rhabdoviridae and in the genus Lyssavirus, along with 5 similar viruses. It is a mid-sized virus, about 180 nanometers long and 75 nanometers wide. It is an antisense, single-stranded, enveloped RNA, non-segmented, bullet-shaped, helical virus. Approximately 400 glycoprotein polymer viral spikes, roughly 10 nanometers long each, stud its envelope. This RNA virus encodes 5 proteins, one of which is the enzyme RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. Infection starts with a bite from a rabid animal and begins in the muscle or skin tissues, then travels through the nerve cells until it reaches the brain. When a rabies virion attaches to a cell, it enters the cell via endocytosis, even though it's an enveloped virus. Instead of an enzyme dissolving the vacuole fuses with the envelope, and the viral genome then moves into the cytoplasm. The cell forms a cytoplasmic vesicle around the viral genome, and its membrane fuses to the endosomes. Then the core of the virus is released into the cytoplasm. Once it's released, RNA-dependent RNA polymerase from the virion is used to transcribe positive viral mRNAs so that viral replication can begin. Most of its viral protein production is performed on ribosomes, but the protein that constructs the viral spikes, glycoprotein, is completed in the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi bodies. Once a switch is activated in the viral RNA information, transcription ends and replication begins. Complete positive strands of the viral RNA are made using RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. The positive copies are then used to create complementary negative single RNA strands of the rabies virus to be used in assembling more virions and to make more viral proteins. During the construction of the virions, Negri bodies, inclusion bodies made of partially completed viral RNA core proteins, are found in the cytoplasm of some infected cells of the central nervous system and the brain's hippocampus. They measure 2 to 10 micrometers in size. As the virus is being put together, 3 proteins that make up capsomeres, viral RNA, and RDRP surround the single-stranded negative RNA genome, forming the viral core and capsid. The capsid bonds with the viral glycoprotein spikes, and the now fully assembled virion use matrix protein to bond the capsid to the envelope as it buds through the cell's outer membrane. Very little damage is done to the outside of the cells. Rabies is reported to be a non-cytopathic virus.
Hi, my name is Brittany Drake, and I will be talking about the reservoir and transmission of the rabies virus. So mammals are the reservoir for this virus. There are many different kinds throughout the United States and in other countries, but as you can see in the photo of the map, the most common reservoirs for rabies that are found within the United States are bats, skunks, and raccoons. These animals are found all over the US except for bats. Bats have actually been found throughout every state except for Hawaii. And just for fun, I also wanted to share that the most common reservoir for rabies outside of the US, specifically in Africa and Southeast Asia, are stray dogs. We don't see that much here in the United States because we have vaccinations that are used quite frequently with our pets, specifically cats and dogs. And although vaccinations are used most of the time, it can still be possible for vaccinated pets to get rabies. Vaccinations for dogs are most likely not used in these other countries, and that is why stray dogs are the most common reservoir in those places. As for transmission, the most popular way is through direct contact. Direct contact means that there is physical contact between an infected person or animal and a healthy person or animal. The most common way with this contact is usually through a bite from the infected animal. Another way is from the saliva from the animal. The saliva can get through an open wound, through the eyes, or the mouth. It can also sometimes be transmitted through a scratch, but that is actually more rare for that to happen. Animals not only spread rabies to humans, but can also spread it to other animals through the same type of contact. And people may be concerned that if they pet an infected animal or get the animal's blood on them, that it would cause them to get the disease, but this is actually not considered a risk of infection. Any mammal can get rabies and spread the disease. And some examples are farm animals, such as goats and horses, pet animals, such as cats or dogs, and wild animals. And as I mentioned in the last slide, the most common mammals are stray dogs, beavers, skunks, foxes, and raccoons.
I'm gonna present about sign and symptom and how to prevent the rabies. So there have 5 steps on rabies and each step has different symptoms. Mostly rabies symptoms are like the flu, such as fever, diarrhea, sore throat, vomiting, headache, hydrophobia, paroxysm, muscle twitch. So people couldn't realize that they are infected by rabies virus. When a patient has symptom and sign, that means they already passed the incubation period and can be analyzed on the prodrome stage. Usually during the incubation period, we couldn't have a clear symptom and sign, so we couldn't realize that rabies, because the only sign and symptom is on the bite side, such as a swollen, itching, shooting, and pain. The incubation period lasts for usually 1 to 3 months. After incubation period, a patient go to prodrome stage, which has a mild symptom. Symptom and sign. It lasts 2 to 10 days, and during that time, a patient may have fever, diarrhea, sore throat, and vomiting as a sign, and can have a symptom such as chill, malaise, headache, photophobia, anorexia, nausea, cold, muscular skeletal pain. After the prodrome stage, a patient will be on an acute neurologic period, and it will last 2 to 7 days. The symptoms are muscular twitch, paroxysm, and focal or generalized convulsion. So it can be very dangerous to human body and have an acute problem. After this stage, a patient will be on coma condition, which is coma period, and it will eventually lead to patient to die. To prevent this virus, rabies is very simple. Since the rabies is transmitted by animal biting, so if we keep away from the wild animal, and if all pets are vaccinated against rabies, we couldn't prevent the disease very easily. Vaccination is given a person who has a high risk of rabies, so it can prevent the disease even after they've been exposed.
Hello, my name is Logan Waite, and I'll be covering treatment and interesting facts. The first rabies vaccine was developed by Louis Pasteur and Emily Rowe in 1885. This vaccine had contained weakened live rabies virus. You'll remember that a vaccine containing a live virus is known as a live attenuated vaccine. One of the modern vaccines, Rabivert, is currently produced and distributed by a pharmaceutical company called GlaxoSmithKline. Rabivert is not a live attenuated vaccine, but is made instead using chick embryos to produce inactivated rabies virus. Healthcare workers and others who are at high risk may receive vaccines as prevention, but the general population should only receive them as treatment After suspected exposure, the patient must begin treatment immediately. The only treatment with 100% success rate is administration of 5 vaccines over a 2-week period. These shots are administered on days 0, 3, 7, and 14. These vaccines work in much the same way that other familiar vaccines work. By introducing inactivated virus to the body, the vaccine allows the immune system to recognize the live invader and hopefully have a better chance of killing it before the infection becomes severe. In addition to receiving these critical vaccines, the patient should also keep the wound clean by washing with large amounts of water. Infected individuals may also be treated for some of the symptoms of rabies, including nausea, muscle spasms, and dizziness, using common medication. Rabies virus, or hydrophobia as it was originally known, is one of the only viruses known to have nearly 100% mortality rate. In fact, previous to 2004, there had been no known cases of human survival without the treatments listed on the previous slide. Tens of thousands of human cases are confirmed each year by the World Health Organization, most occurring in Africa. As of 2016, only 14 cases had survived rabies infection without any treatment. In 2018, the country of Thailand was experiencing a severe outbreak of the virus, with over 400 confirmed animal cases in 40 different provinces within the first 3 months of the year. To combat this outbreak, the Thai government vaccinated over 10 million cats and dogs. They hope to rid the country of the virus by 2020, a goal that some believe to be unachievable. Well, that was our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun making it. These are our references. And have a great day.